Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be putting the plugs or caps into the transmission shifter. It's kind of been a long week. It's been cold this week, kind of rainy. Just haven't got much done. Last week we were out picking up the roll bar, so it's been several weeks really since we've really made any progress on the Jeep. A little frustrating for sure. Just kind of one of those days even today that it's just like need to work on it, but I'd rather watch football or something like that. So it's one of those December things. Anyway, today we're going to be putting these plugs into this transmission piece. Really, these are freeze plugs. Let's see if we can get a measurement on them. So that's what it measures, is 0.69, 691, somewhere in there. So if you can find freeze plugs in that size, I think they'll work. I went to several auto parts stores, one of the big box type, and just several auto parts stores here in town, and looked for them, couldn't find them, ended up having to buy them offline. Picked up a few other little things as well to make it worthwhile for the shipping. But if you can, I'd try to buy them local, unless you're buying a bunch of other stuff. This is one of those little pieces that I didn't quite know I needed when I ordered all the other pieces, and it just kind of fell through my observations. So you know, you're going to have those where you just have little parts orders versus big parts orders, and that's cool. It's just a little frustrating, that's all. So anyway, what you do, and I'll try to show you as best as I can. We're just hand holding today the camera. So you just kind of put them in like so. Now you're gonna have to hammer them in, and I'll go pull the soft face hammer out before we do that. As you can see, it already has a little oxidation straight from the part supplier. Wasn't real thrilled about that, but it will have oil and all sorts of good stuff on it. As a matter of fact, I may put a little 3-in-1 on there just to help slide that in. Alright, so found my hammer finally, cleaned up the shop while it was cold and all that. So now I can't find anything because I had it all kind of out on one area. Now I've put it back, and you know how that goes. But anyway, these are probably once used only plugs. You may be able to get them out. So it may be something you consider getting several if you're going to have to pull this out a few times. So next time I order some parts from a place, I'll probably order some extras. I ordered just 2, not really thinking about it, but yeah, so I imagine you're going to have to mushroom these pretty bad to get them back out. I know I did on the one I had to get out. Unless if you take out everything and you can hammer them out. So anyway, I kind of got them placed in where I want them. And I don't really know what I'm doing here. So we're just going to learn together. So let's see what we can do. Of course, it wants to go in there crooked. So I'm doing this inside just because it's going to be easier than dealing with this outside. And I wanted to do it on a vise. Yep, and this thing is caught. Alright, so we got the ball peen out. Yeah, we're going to have to pull that out. Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have found one way that does not work. So we got it out, kind of beat the side that was down, and we're going to try this again. This time using a piece of wood. And anytime you're on size like this, I could throw this in the freezer for a little bit, probably with help. But let's see if we can do it like so. It still wants to cock. So if this doesn't work, we will throw it in the freezer. Same thing. Just wants to score up. Well, we are not being successful today. Take the file to it. Get those burrs off. I'm going to throw these in a plastic bag. Throw them in the freezer for a little while. Let them contract. I'm going to try it again. Hopefully, once they're in the freezer, they'll have time allow us to get it in there. Alright, so here we got them. Put them in the freezer for about an hour. Let's see if that makes any difference. Well, they don't slide in like I had hoped, but use the comments below. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Try the other one. I don't know if they're perfectly round either. Which probably isn't helping any. Being in the freezer as long as they were, figured they'd be colder. I'm just going to kind of tap on this bad boy. That'll do. So, lesson learned there. I was just trying to be too gentle with it. Yeah, that one ain't working right. Alright, so I've managed to mushroom the heck out of this thing. So what you see is me trying to get out of a jam. It ain't round, that's for sure. But if we can get it down in here, we should be alright. So, originally, Let me tell you a little story here. This thing only had one. Now I'm starting to see why it only had one. I would guess that whoever messed with it before just ran into the same problem I did. So ladies and gentlemen, lesson learned here, order like 3 or 4 of them bad boys when you order them, so that you can mess one up. They're fairly expensive for what they are. This is just a little freeze cap. It's just a little piece of metal that they've stamped out. I think I paid $3 for them. I saw them for $2, but I wanted to go ahead and get them. So I went ahead and paid a little more for them so I could get it by this weekend, and so that I could install them. So we're going to hit this. Now if I had a lathe or something like that, I could probably chew this up real nice, but I don't. Alright, so I decided to clean this chamfer up a little bit. So lessons learned here. Go ahead and use force. 2, make sure it's good and clean. And last but not least, order several of these things when you go to put them in. So that you are not dealing with the same situation I am right now. And somebody out there knows how to do this, and it's like really frustrated right now at this video watching me struggle through this. And they're probably yelling at the screen, "No, don't do that, don't do that." If I could only hear you, my friend, if I could only hear you, life would be better. Goodness gracious, that was crazy. But at the end of the day, it just took a little bit of force to really get them in their home. Glad it finally got in there. Glory to God. He's the one that put them in there for me, you know. But anyway, hopefully this helps when you do this on your Jeep, and you won't experience the same type of troubles that I just did. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe, like button, throw some comments down there on how big of an idiot I am, and I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all take care. It's time for supper.